guys, I decided to cover some of my thoughts on the recent investment Palantir made in the Hyundai Oilbanks. When I was looking it in detail, I find that there are few things in this particular investment that Palantir has not done before. I think it is worth investigating like what is different this time than anything else Palantir has done in the past. So let me just give my view that how do I see this one, which is very different from anything which Palantir has done under even different programs like they did Palantir Unlock, the Foundry for builders, the SPAC investment. This is a bit different. So how do I see this one is, I see that when Palantir decided to invest in Hyundai Oilbank, this indicates there is a pivot in their go-to-market strategy. The reason for that is very clear to me that this is first time they actually have made an investment into a mature business. So for example, like in the past they have done investment in Lilium and Viso via SPAC, but this is not what Hyundai Oilbank does. It's a very traditional business. This has been in the industry since 1964. Though they are investing in the growth business part as well, but they are pretty much investing in all of the business, which as of today is very legacy and very much in the refining part of the business. So first is why Hyundai Oilbank is looking for Palantir. I mean, they wanted someone who can bring cash for financial support before they go into the IPO next year. The second thing is that they wanted a partner who looked like a stable strategic investor who can provide some strategic services or alignment or which can increase the overall corporate value. So the idea here is that the both companies wants to build the cooperative relationship moving forward. That means Palantir will not only be owning an equity but also be helping Hyundai Oilbank in their digital transformation. And what is most important here is that Hyundai has another division which is Hyundai Tucson Infraco, which initially had worked with Palantir and had signed a strategic partnership. So given the cultural context that we have in South Korea, I think it is very clear that the feedback that came from Hyundai Tucson to Hyundai Oilbank is key. They see that bringing Palantir as a partner, both for digital transformation and as a strategic investor, will overall increase the corporate value of the company. Now, another part is that though they are investing in a business which is very legacy, very focused, margins are changing all the time quite fast, but it also has a very ambitious growth potential in the new businesses such as expanding more in petrochemicals and hydrogen and other green energy sources coming out of it. So it's not like just going into this business, building it at a platform and just owning a part of a company. They're trying to own a company that has regional advantage in growing businesses that could be very strategic for that part of the country. So overall, it is a very strategic investment, and it is first of its kind when Palantir is going and making this kind of investment in Korea and in a mature business. One of the things which is critical, I was just looking at some of the investor deck that Hyundai Oilbank has. Just wanted to see the health of business overall. I think it is decent in general. And we also have to be careful at this time that this business growth is happening at a time when the oil industry has been quite volatile. And moving forward, there is going to be a lot of growth businesses that are going to emerge as well, which is not yet accounted in a lot of these revenues and ratios that we are looking up here. But moving forward, I mean, we are going to see a lot of business and a lot of revenue that is coming from the new energy part of it. Now here is another reason why I feel that this choice is very strategic is, despite being in oil and gas business, and the oil bank is very clear that where they are moving. The idea is that we have competitive advantage in refining business, and they want to use their expertise in major capital project, regional advantage, their global reach, as well as their technical workforce to transform a lot of this into a clean energy business platform. The key word here is they want to build platforms. That means, and we all know that the margins in green energies are not like oil and gas, which means the data become even more critical. So moving forward, data will be core to what Hyundai Oilbank is doing, and they wanted a partner who can work with them on their priorities also at times. And this is why having an investment make quite a sense as well. Now, moving forward, I mean, they have already discussed like what is the vision of the company in 2030 will look like. They are saying that the oil refining revenues will decrease around 40%. That means at that particular point, 60% of the revenue will come from alternate energy and new businesses. It could be blue hydrogen, which could be white biodiesel fuel and other eco-friendly things they are doing. So in terms, this company is very focused moving towards cleaner energy in their vision, which means there is going to be there's a significant effort in reducing their carbon footprint. This is where Foundry's carbon module, which we actually covered in one of the video earlier, is also critical. Now it's a company that serves specific set of customers, so there is a expectation of view from my side is that they will be building a data platform that can be monetized with customers and other people in the industry. It will not be limited entirely to these two companies in general, because whichever way you look, Hyundai Oilbank, even having a sizable business, they're not one of the largest in the industry. So why you are going to build an exclusive partnership with a company and you don't monetize it outside in an industry that has expenditures in trillions of dollars, and the data industry itself is at least like 50-60 billion dollar a year. And as we move forward looking for enterprise AI, the edge deployments, the automation that the industry has to deploy, this is quite big. So I'm confident that whatever data platform these two companies will build together, they actually want to monetize it, because that explains that why there is an equity stake. That means when they can own a joint IP moving forward. So the revenue sources that will come to Palantirs are going to be following. First, they are going to have a financing gain if the IPO goes well and the overall value of the company increase. Then they will have the revenues that will come in from the deployment of the foundry in the core business. Then the third source of revenue will come that when they make these data platforms and they try to monetize it with the other businesses and other companies moving forward. So what the vision, I mean, like look like is that they want to reduce their sales from oil refining. They want to move a lot of sales into blue hydrogen, the biofuel, the clean and sustainable material part. And these are low margin business. And these are, so only way you generate a similar kind of return or a higher return by flipping the assets very fast or in a shorter duration. So you try to trade the margins with the risk and the volatility somewhat. And at the end of the day, it is very important that you have the right data strategy for this. And it is few people anticipated this particular. So these businesses are not as region constrained moving forward when there is going to be abundance of renewable energy as they are today. So the fight will be on the cents, and data will be the only defining edge apart from the regional barriers that different countries create to save their industry. But that's pretty much it. So now if we see it clearly, so what we are looking like, if we say that green businesses, they have just started. I mean, they are going very large in blue hydrogen, which means they are going to signing projects and working projects which has a large carbon capture storage. We just saw recently like Exxon alone has said that 100 billion they'll be investing in the carbon capture. And guys, we need to be aware of this, that this oil and gas industries are not going to be disappear. And carbon capture, utility and storage is one of the um key area where these companies are looking to reduce their carbon footprint. So these are the only global energy companies. Like even as of today, we do not have renewable companies which are this global. Now, when oil and gas sectors moving towards green energy, I mean they are the actually they are the natural fit to become the global renewable companies. So that is something which they have advantage. And blue hydrogen as well as carbon capture is a core area where they're looking to create value. And moving from refining, Hyundai Oilbank is actually going to play in it. So in short, they'll be playing in a sector where they have engineering and competitive advantage. They have access to the right resource, and at this particular time, this area is getting a lot of regulatory favor as well as green financing. So overall, it can be seen as an area where there can be growth in the future. Now, if I have to summarize, like what are the key takeaways you can take out of this discussion is the first one is that there is a change in the go-to-market strategy from Palantir. That means that why they are going into investing in a legacy business, which they have not done in past, is I mean that means a cash position. They are comfortable in terms of cash position, and they are looking okay. This idea of acquiring new businesses and try to dominate different industries and sectors, they need a cash deployment to kind of bind a partner into it. So now they are going into an area which is quite mature. So this is first of its kind. Most important, and the second one is that they are trying to meet the clients where they are today. That means this is critical to dominate a sector. They're not defining that this is our product and see if you can fit to it. They're saying, okay, client, what do you need? How can I help you? And then they are discussing terms and conditions, that what terms and conditions allows us to create a lot of value and capture value portion of that value as well, and you also gain benefit out of our presence and our professional visibility for your sector as well as for your company. One thing which has not been discussed a lot, and especially pretty much non-existent in the finance media categories, that no one understand in reality in finance analyst media, that the industrial data platform is quite complicated situation. It's just not like technology. There's a lot of context out there. So Palantir is making very clear that they want to focus their data platform in terms of industrial excellence, and that can only happen when you collaborate and co-create solutions while working with your partners on some really high value problems. So these are like my three key takeaways that I came out of this deal. And overall, I would say that this is quite unique because they have not done something like this before. Then that means I expect more of these investments to happen and come in future as well. So let's see how does it play out, and let's see when the Hyundai Oilbank goes to IPO next year. That overall, I mean, that do they make any financial gains out of it? But working in an industry where data is in plenty, it's a very legacy. The data has a lot of competitive advantage, and so getting access to that kind of data, building strategies to create value where cents matter, I think it's a brilliant move. Does it make stock price move? I don't know. I mean, stock price doesn't move for Palantir for whatever reasons, so I'm not expecting that to happen just because of this. But yeah, I mean, in terms of revenue and strategy, I mean, I think it's a good move, and yeah, I like it. So see you guys next time. Enjoy. Take care.